In the beginning of the class, I expected to gain my speaking skills and have full confidence in talking in front of everyone. I do have fears in talking in front of everyone, especially in presenting, and I hope that I'll be able to improve them and gain them in this class. The two concepts of interpersonal communication from the textbook that I will apply in the future is listening and self-disclosure. Listening is to focus on messages sent by other people or noises coming from our surroundings and to better our understanding of other people's communication. My sister is an example. She doesn't talk much, but when she does, she needs you to have your whole attention. When I don't, she feels that I am not listening to what she has to say, which sometimes causes her to hold back when it comes to expressing her thoughts and feelings. In this scenario, I can use listening as a kind of interpersonal communication to improve my listening skills and recognize that it's also important to pay attention to what she has to say, no matter how important or not it may be. Through the process of self-disclosure, we disclose personal information and learn about others. My best friend and I have been using self-disclosure. We valued our friendship by giving and sharing information and shared secrets with one another that only us would know. However, I also want to be more open and be mindful of others so that I'll be more connected to them, such as their thoughts, feelings, and hopes of what they want to be in the future. The interview speech is among my best speech for individual presentations. The topic of this speech was doing an interview with a person we have a connection to or interest in. Therefore, I decided to go with a CNA who is also a nursing student. I was interested in the interview because I was inspired by her journey and curious to learn how she manages to balance her job and school. As one of the aspiring nurses in the future, I wanted to learn and possess such traits and strengths so that I would survive in my passion. Eye contact and voice projection are the traits I possess that contributed to my interview speech being at its strongest. Additionally, I have smooth transitions between my pain points and a strong organization. Charlesa Caraang was able to make eye contact with her audience and effectively organize the main points of her informative speech about the importance of sunlight. She also has a strong posture and makes extensive use of time transitions, which makes her speech more interesting and well organized. The organizational pattern that I use for my interview speech is time order and topic order. In my speech, I use time order techniques such as transitions and word sequences like after, next, and first, second, and third. These organization patterns aid in the organization of my speeches, important themes, which helps me know what to say next and actually directs me from the start to the end of what I'm going to say. From the textbook, time and order sequence transitions are very important because they help an audience stay on top of the information that is being presented to them. The method that I use in my informative speech is explaining how getting enough sleep helps our brain work properly and enable us to operate during the day is the main point of my speech. I also discussed and highlighted the fact that our bodies will not function properly if we don't get enough sleep, as well as the things that will happen. The goal of this is to explain and present information that allows the audience to better understand the topic. The technique that I use to actuate my audience in my persuasive speech is using the type of proposition and direct approach. According to our textbook, propositions of fact focus on beliefs and try to establish that something is or isn't. I began my speech with demonstration in order for my audience to entertain and continue to listen as I go through my main points. I use a direct approach because I went straight to the point of what I'm gonna say, such as the negative impacts of plastics and the benefits of using less plastics. I believe I made a slight improvement in my speaking skills. For instance, based on my score, I believe I did well in my interview speech. It is difficult to avoid using or like in this video, but I did try my very best to avoid using it in order to observe how this speech will affect my public speaking abilities. I was pleased with my performance and the score itself reflected that. I believe I was a little rushed in my informative speech because I thought I went overboard and I didn't perform as well as I had hoped. I was quite anxious and stuttered over a few words. Nevertheless, I am hopeful that this speech would be my greatest improvement. Overall, I am aware that this improvement is not huge, but I was able to control my emotions and deliver my speech in a manner that I was familiar with the aid of textbooks and videos, which will be very beneficial in helping me concentrate on my upcoming speeches. My instructor highlights that I excel at maintaining eye contact and making a smooth transitions between my main points in speeches. She also mentions how I had a strong posture and projected my voice during my speech, and lastly, the flow of my speech from the beginning to the conclusion. My instructor has listed my vocal inflection and that the demonstration and creativity of my visual aid as theme areas for my improvement. Yes, I made an effort to address the speech weaknesses since some of my visuals were displayed on iPad rather than actual objects. My most recent speech though was a real object, therefore I want to do better in this course and in the next other courses. I could have improved using textbook definitions and submitting my videos. I feel like I need to put more effort into learning the definitions from the textbooks so that I can apply to them in my videos, which will be crucial not only in this class but also in the future. Additionally, I submitted a video late, which is not really okay for me. I missed the deadline by submitting it after the due date, and because I didn't do my part, I feel like I became irresponsible for it. Video submissions also mean that I could have been more involved and practice more to deliver my speeches, because I feel like there are still many timing improvements and changes that I need to do in any of my video submissions. Earning my RN degree is one of my professional goals. One example of a time I think I may have to do an individual presentation is my next other classes. Being in this class and learning a lot of information will be extremely beneficial to me in the future as well as in my other courses. I hope to be able to speak with confidence, have improved my ability to demonstrate and explain things clearly, and be more knowledgeable about how I deliver my speech. I'm hoping to use both my areas of strength and weaknesses to work on myself to become a good speaker and to have more opportunities in the future. Thank you for listening.